All I want for Christmas is
Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat
What's
ass
happening,
bitch. I
party
got racks
people?
to the ATM
I
jam.
got a good
Tell
show
me
for
what you
y'all
wanna do.
tonight. Ooh.
They shooting in the parking lot.
Ooh.
Everybody get
I got a little something up my sleeve.
They shooting in the parking lot.
I don't know if y'all ratty. I don't know if y'all really ratty.
Stand by soldier, look at work the motherfucking ass like I told you. Stand by soldier, look at work the motherfucking ass like I told
You
you.
can't handle it. I don't know if you can handle it. Shout out to Raj Holistic. Thank you for contributing to the show. Welcome. I got a good show planned tonight. Got a nice little topic. I gotta share the Facebooks. Let me share the Facebooks. Shout out to Kimberly Anderson. Shout out to Nanette. I doubt she's watching this, but it's all good. Shout out to Rochelle. Rochelle said lasagna is so much better the next day. That's funny. Alright. Oh, I got sidetracked, my bad.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam.
You ever tried to close a Facebook group? You know how hard that is?
A badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks.
Shout outs to everybody on TikTok. Shout outs to Omar.
What you wanna do.
Give me them likes. Shout outs to Chicago. Wow. How ironic. I shouted out Chicago and gave a gunshot. Shout outs to T. Alright. Let's get started. Shout outs to Tommy. Welcome everyone. Make yourselves at home. Grab a seat, grab a chair. Grab a couch, grab a lounger or recliner. Whatever you need to get comfortable. Make yourselves at home. Get your favorite beverage and your favorite snack. We're about to get started. Welcome to this multi-million-dollar stream. I'm your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity U LLC. Prosperity U LLC is creating a society of wealth, positivity, and inspiration. You are tuned into Love and Money, the podcast of Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above, $ Prosperity U LLC. Go over to that Cash App and give it everything you got. And then visit the website below at prosperunlimited.com and allow that website to change your life. I guarantee it because it changed mine. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. But most importantly, thank you for sharing, because sharing is caring. That's right, boys and girls. And if you like the show, give a gift or just give a like. The likes are free. Yes, and remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. right here. And last but not least, be sure to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. All right. So without any further ado, whatever vowel you could think of, let's go straight in. I got a good show planned. I actually got notes tonight. I got notes. All right. So let's begin. So, ladies, I'm here to talk about your vagina. Yes. I want to talk about vaginal health in relation to the times that we live in. I want to talk about vaginal health from a mental aspect, from a physical aspect, and from a spiritual aspect. And why? Because I'm a heterosexual male. I love women, and because I love women, I love your vagina. Give me some of that vagina. You remember when Orlando Brown said that? So let's go in. I am paying attention to the chat. I see the YouTube chat. I see the TikTok chat and the Instagram chat. I think the Facebook chat should be on here too. If not, I will. You can DM me. But I do see all the chats. I see all the chats. Let me see if there's anybody on Facebook tuned in. But we got a good show, guys. We got a good show. So, we live in a day and age where dating as one of my favorite YouTubers right now. Shout out to Lavonda. Let's lick a shot for Lavonda. One of my favorite YouTubers right now is Coach Greg Adams. He's filled my Kevin Samuels vacuum for right now, and he really keeps it real. Shout outs to Kaswana. My junior high school crush. One of my junior high school crushes. But yeah. So yeah, we live in a day and age where dating has become monetized and prostitution has become normalized. Prostitution has become normalized and popularized. You know what I mean? And the intention behind it is up to question. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole nother topic. You know what I mean? But right now, as far as what we're talking about tonight, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course you have, female stripper rappers and then OnlyFans, the OnlyFans boom. You know what I mean? And then, the sprinkle boom. Shout outs to Letitia. She's actually, I actually knew her before the blow up. So I'm very proud. Salute. She gets a Jamaican air horn and lick a shot. Yeah. So shout outs to Letitia. But you had the sprinkle boom where she's, lifting the lid and the wool off of a lot of women's eyes and awakening them to their inner gold digger. I will caveat. I want to give a little caveat to that whole the sprinkle mentality. And as a man, I do understand that. I used to be like most men who would demonize gold digging, right? However, I was never in a position to date a gold digger, right? But as I've gotten older, I do realize that not every woman is a gold digger. And stereotypically, not every black woman is a gold digger. However, every woman does not want to have to worry about bills. You see what I'm saying? So, like, there's the happy medium. No, she's not a gold digger. She just doesn't want to have to worry about bills. She wants to be able to focus on being a mother and a wife. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that when you're worried about bills. So I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not against it at all. I'm in a lot of ways, I'm actually for it. Shout outs to VTuber Kelsey. Shout outs to Ruby. Thank you guys for contributing to the show. Tap that screen if you're on TikTok. Give me some likes. Give me some likes today. Today. Y'all gonna learn today. Give me some likes. All right. So we live in a day and age where pretty much prostitution has been normalized and popularized. And because of the prostitution being normalized and popularized, the sexual liberation and the sexual freedom has also been normalized and popularized. And so now there are so many, women who are pretty much juggling dudes, being women trying to be players, and so on and so forth, and just pretty much being hoes. Like, whether you get paid to do it or not, you just being a hoe, right? It is what it is. Because it's not about society being structured that way. It's actually about nature being structured that way. Nature does not allow you to be does not allow for women to be hoes. That's the double standard, because one, a man's going to judge you, and then you'll have a lot less suitors for marriage, and you'll pretty much wind up alone. I'm pretty sure, like, how many they talk about how hoes be winning all the time, and that was a thing in the 2010s. Hoes were winning in the 2010s, but you got to let time tell its story, right? Shout outs to Big Sexy 1973. Welcome. Shout outs to Malena Garcia and D Mac. Thank you for contributing to the show. Tap the screen, give me some likes. I love it. And so hoes were winning in the 2010s, but then once we hit the 2020s, that was up for question, right? And so Mother Nature always wins. Mother Nature always wins, and you have to bow. Mother Nature and Father Time. We have to bow down to them. You know what I mean? I don't think it's any irony that in Greek mythology they were listed as titans, Kronos and Gaia, right? But I'm geeking out right now. Never mind me. So let's talk about the mental aspect of the vagina. I liken this revelation hit me maybe about a couple years ago. Yeah, just a couple years ago at my big age. Being a woman, mentally, let's look at mentally what it's like to be a woman. Fellas, put yourselves, let's try putting ourselves in women's shoes. Shout outs to Carlos. Mentally, being a woman is like living in a house with no doors. Imagine you living in a house and it's just a door panel, just a whole door panel and nothing on the hinges. That's what it's like being a woman. And this epiphany came to me, you know what I mean? I didn't grow up with sisters, you know what I mean? I'm still learning women to this day, right? It's just a fascination to me. And think of living in a house like that. How would you sleep at night? You live in a house with no doors. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can just stroll on in. There's no door, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be like, whoa, who's there? What's going on? You got to be very. Imagine the level of vigilance you had to have. God, fellas, try to think of this. Try to put yourselves in their shoes. Imagine the level of vigilance you had to have. The level of security or insecurity you had to have where you just live in a house with no doors. You know what I mean? This is what it's like being a woman. So it's very easy to be violated. And I think because of the physical design of the woman, that kind of engenders the mental design of a woman. Whereas women by nature are typically more emotional, they're emotional, unstable, they're more spontaneous driven, they're flaky, you know what I mean, so on and so forth, right? They're kind of ephemeral, if you will, if you want to use that word. Shout outs to Julie C. Thank you for contributing to the show. Tap the screen, give me some likes, guys. Thank you. And so because of because of the physical design of a woman, it affects their mental design and their nature, so to speak. You know what I mean? And which is why they're very communal. They rely very much so on safety and security. You know what I mean? Like I say it all the time, men marry for love, women marry for safety and security. Because mentally she's already married you, but the minute she met you. You know what I mean? And the man is just catching up. You know what I mean? And another thing about there was always the tenet that, girls mature faster than boys. That's a myth. And here's why I say that's a myth. This is my opinion. Girls are sexually exposed earlier than boys. You know what I mean? They're sexually exposed earlier than boys, and they have a lot more societal pressure because of their sexuality, because of the way nature is set up and the way society is set up. Nature and society are two different things. All right. So it puts a lot more pressure and a lot more of a debt on girls, a mental debt on girls growing up. They have to live with a lot more discretion and secrecy than boys do. Boys like really just get to be themselves. They get to be dirty and smelly and playing and running and climbing and jumping and rambunctious and fighting and play fighting. You know what I mean? While girls have to quote unquote be a certain way. You know what I mean? And they get sexually exposed early on. You know what I'm saying? They get sexual advances early on just by the virtue of them being females. You know what I mean? So they get exposed earlier, and so it may seem like they're more mature, but it's a different type of maturity. Boys early on have to learn how to figure out how to be men in a way, and that's a different lane. That's a different type of maturity. You learn a different type. It's a different set of virtues that are put upon boys as opposed to girls. Now in this day and age, with so many fatherless homes, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's shaky out here. You know what I'm saying? So, but I digress. And so mentally, because the woman mentally lives in a house or physically lives in a house with no doors, her mental stability is very delicate. Her mental stability is very delicate, which is why she's so emotional. You know what I mean? And so for her to let you quote unquote let you in her house, or in other words, have intercourse with you, there has to be several steps and processes she must go through, or she chooses to go through. You know what I mean? Because one, you're quote unquote crossing a boundary. You know what I mean? Because remember, there's no door. So she has to be very like, whoa, wait, hold on, who are you, right? And so a lot of times with women who matter of fact, I forgot to put let me put that up there. So a lot of times with women who are promiscuous, she kind of skips that security process. She skips that intake process, and then just lets you in the house. And so mentally it fucks her head up, because now she's like, wait, you're all in my house. You're a stranger in her house, quote unquote. You're a stranger in her house. So while you're already in her house, she's trying to get to know you. And a lot of times she may never get to know you. You walk into her house and then you just leave her house. And so now she was like, who was that person? Like, and so now she's clamoring for you. And then now there are some women who are, one of my other favorite my favorite female YouTuber, Six the Goddess, she says that there are broken women who can let quote unquote let a man in her house and not think twice about it, and he can come and go, as he pleases and not think twice about it. And that's kind of against a woman's nature. And I can get and based on everything I just explained, I can understand why she would say that. There must be something broken within you for you to just be so blasé about it. There must be, your boundary must have been crossed so many times where it's like now you don't have the mental energy to sit there and have to worry about who this person is and what are they about and what do they want to do to me. You already know what this is. So yeah, come on in. Right? And so yeah, And so this is another reason why when a woman, quote unquote, lets you in her house with no doors, she becomes emotionally attached to you, or mentally attached, if you will, because she went through this process and this is another reason why I say the woman marries you mentally before she ever walks down the aisle with you. Mentally, she has to go through a process of being comfortable enough with you to let you in her house with no doors. And so now she because she's gotten comfortable with you enough, now she's bonding with you and she's being attached to you. You know what I mean? Because you're new into the house. You're new into the house. And so this is the mental aspect. And so now once again, with you being promiscuous, you know what I mean, and you know, if you want to live in this sexual revolution, okay, cool, and let a bunch of visitors into your house with no doors, you know what I mean, you're skipping the mental process. And this is why promiscuous women or just simply put hoes have trouble, you know, and later in life, because you know the less you get treated, the worse it gets. Later in life, they have a lot of mental health issues. You know what I mean? So this is the mental correlation with the vagina. Oh, and another thing. Hold on. Let me disclaim. I am by no means, by any stretch of the imagination, a medical health professional. So everything I'm saying up to this point is complete and utter bullshit. Feel free to tap, scroll, and swipe away. All right? You betcha. All right, now that we done got that out the way, let's get back to the business. So now here's another kicker. Let's get to the biological aspect of the vagina, and you know how this popularity and normalization of prostitution and promiscuity, what it does. What it can do, the potential that it has to a woman. Right now, I'm speaking to the daughter I never had. You know what I mean? So ladies, if for the 0.5 women watching this right now, you're my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm schooling you right now. Okay? So let's look at body chemistry and the 5 senses. When I talk about body chemistry, I'm talking about body fluids. You know, the exchange of course, the exchange of body fluids. Oh, 2 things we will not discuss. 2 things we do not care to discuss is the transmission of STIs and religion. We're gonna get that out. We already know you have sex with a bunch of people raw, you're gonna catch something. Okay, at some point, the more partners you engage with, the more you increase your chances of contracting an STI. We got that out the way. Cool. We're not going to touch religion because it's pointless, because religion gives people an excuse to dodge accountability, and so we're not going to touch religion. That's point, and it's too subjective. We're not doing that. All right, so now let's get back to business also. So when I talk about body chemistry, I'm talking about the exchange of body fluids, but not just that. I want to address hormones. I want to address hormones and neurochemistry. You know, the three main pleasure hormones are oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. Yes, gotcha. Those are the 3 main pleasure hormones. During sex, all 3 of those hormones fire off. Don't quote me. I'm not too keen on what parts of the brain are triggered or what parts of the amygdala and the oblongata and the but I know those 3 hormones fire off, and the brain has a survival mechanism of connecting the dots. Well, saying, well, okay, when this hormone when this event takes place, when this person touches me this way, or I smell this smell, or I look at this person's face, or they kiss me this way, or they kiss me that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Yeah, you know, when these senses, when any of these five senses are triggered in this way, these hormones are gonna fire. So when I talk about the mental aspect of your vagina being attached to that quote unquote visitor or that man, there's also the physiological effect of it, with the hormones being the hormones being associated with that. Every time those hormones fire, or you feel the quote unquote butterflies in your tummy, right? Or you're just just flat out horny, right? Anytime this occurs, you know, that emotional attachment gets triggered with it. It's like a chicken before the egg. You know what I mean? You're emotionally attached, so the hormones start firing. You know what I mean? And then you're emotionally attached, and so the hormones start firing, so you can get emotionally attached, right? And this is how you create addiction, or what we call love, you know, or lust, pretty much. You know what I mean? For some people it's lust, for some people it's addiction. You know, depending on the severity of the severity and the repetitiveness of the association. So let's say, you know, you go to your favorite coffee shop and you see that guy. I'm referring to the Alicia Keys song, right? You go to your favorite coffee shop every morning and you see that guy reading his paper. Who reads paper anymore, right? But you go to your favorite coffee shop every morning and you see that guy on his laptop at your favorite coffee shop, and you want to talk to him. You see him, right? And so now the hormones are firing because you see him and you're attracted to him, and so now those hormones are firing and that feels good to you. So now you get your coffee and you leave, but you're not speaking to him. Now there's a mystery. That's the mental aspect. There's a mystery, and this is how a crush works. You know what I mean? And you know, there's tension, there's suspense, and you're dreaming and fantasizing about what it's like being with him, and so on and so forth, right? And those hormones are firing, the blood is pumping, the clit is throbbing, right? And all your body is doing all of these things as you leave the coffee shop and head to your job. You know what I'm saying? While you fantasize about this guy on his laptop at the coffee shop, right? And then you finally work up the nerve to say something to him, or he finally works up the nerve to say something to you, right? So now your heart is beating faster, your clit is throbbing harder, right? Your eyes get big, and the hormones are firing again. So dopamine is the hormone that actually has a strong connection to just recreational drugs. You know what I mean? It's the number one pleasure hormone. That's why they call it dope. That's why they call certain drugs dope, because they trigger dopamine, right? So you're having a pleasure. It feels good, even if, and it's a wonder. Like people who have sex for a long time, especially in marriages. That's why you know, marriages become sexless after a while, because people don't really understand the body chemistry that's going on. You having sex with the same person, doing the same sexual acts over and over and over again, that dopamine is going to wear off. You're going to get, and then so you quote unquote lose your attraction to your mate, when that's not really, you didn't lose your attraction, you just lost the hormones, the hormone firing. You know what I mean? And so you kind of have to what they call it? Not cold turkey. You kind of have to go cold turkey, I guess, if that's the word, or whatever. What's that word? Decompress or detox? Yes, you kind of got to detox a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's hard to do when you cohabitating. It's hard to detox when you cohabitate. It's hard to take a break when you cohabitate. Well, a break what? The women be like, boy, you better come over here and break this back. You know what I'm saying? Break? What you mean break? Stop playing. So yeah. So there's a physiological association being made when you're having intercourse. You know what I mean? Let's just fast forward that meet up at the coffee shop. Now y'all actually get to know each other and y'all actually having intercourse. this bond is being, you know what I'm saying, those hormones that were firing in the beginning, now they're like to the moon. You know what I mean? You're touching, you know what I mean, and then you're touching certain erogenous zones in the body. You know what I'm saying? You're caressing each other. You're looking in each other's eyes. So now you're bonding, and you're getting addicted to the hormones that are being triggered by this person, right? And there's so much going on. There's so much going on. That's the neurochemistry aspect of it. Let's look at the genital aspect of it. Just the actual body itself. The organic part of it. The muscles, the contracting muscles in the vaginal walls, they learn to contract. This is, and here's the money. This is the money I'm giving y'all right now. This is, if you take anything from what I'm saying, all this long-windedness tonight, if you're gonna take anything from what I'm saying, you better get this right here. The vaginal walls, they have a muscle memory. It's the lizard part of our brain, you know, that you know, controls certain body functions that we don't think about, that we're not conscious of, you know, like breathing, eating, and, you know, digesting and things like that. Those body functions that we don't, your heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to think about your heart beating, right? So your body has a particular muscle memory. It has its own clock, its own rhythm to it. You know what I mean? That's why dancing is so sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why women love a man that can dance, because because the cave woman in her is saying to herself, "Oh, he understands my clock. He can dance. He must know my clock." You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important while you're having intercourse to follow a woman's rhythm. I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. Woo! I'm talking too much. But let's talk about the vaginal muscles. The vaginal muscles, they have a muscle memory, and they contract. They have their own contractions, and the contractions are for the purpose of pushing out a baby, right? They're for the purpose of pushing out a baby, but also for actually sucking up sperm to the fallopian tubes. So it sucks up the sperm and pushes the baby out, right? That's the purpose of those vaginal walls contracting, and but it just happens to, you know, provide pleasure while it's secreting the moisture. You know, it feels good. It feels good. I don't know. Hey, feels good. Feels good. All right. But where was I? And so yeah. So the vaginal walls contract, and they have a rhythm while they contract, and they contract. They have a muscle memory to the penis, to that specific man's penis. You see what I'm saying? And so they learn how to contract to the size, girth, and length of that penis. And so so this is why. And no, hold on. Let me get to my point. They contract in that way, and then so let's say for example, this woman has multiple penises entering her at different intervals. Those vaginal muscles have to learn how to contract to a new penis. You're confused. There's no muscle. It has to forget that original muscle memory and learn a new memory. And then, you know, it may have a girthier penis, or a longer penis, or what I say, girth, length, and I said girth. Yeah, whatever. You know, it has to learn a new penis each and every time. You know what I mean? And this is another thing. And so a woman has to get comfortable enough with you to have sex with you, but she also has to get comfortable enough with you to enjoy the sex. That's why sex for the first time with a woman isn't never always that good. You know what I mean? Because she got comfortable enough with you to give you the pussy, but now she got to get comfortable enough to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's another hurdle. You know, it's a mental process that she has to go through. And it's a mental process, but it's also a physiological process she has to go through as well. This is why promiscuity. This is the deeper reason why this is what your pastor won't tell you. Or your pastor doesn't even. I guarantee your pastor doesn't even know this. He's gonna steal this right now and preach it to you this Sunday. All right, but where was I? And so, yeah. So with so many frequent penises entering those vaginal walls, they have to relearn the new dick coming in at each and every time, and it's constantly confusing and forgetting that muscle memory. And this is why when you hoe out too much, it's harder for you to achieve orgasm. You ever watch the pornos? Who raise your hand if you don't watch porno. Right? Okay. But you ever notice though how those women fake it? Right? You know what I mean? Or they just act real overboard. You know what I mean? Just for the entertainment value, right? Because it's hard to really please them because it's harder for them to achieve orgasm because they're constantly engaging in new partners, and their muscle memory, their physiological muscle memory, their rhythm, their sexual clock is off. You know what I mean? So they don't really get much pleasure. That subconscious part, that spiritual part of their brain does not really get that much pleasure, from the experience. You know what I mean? It's not until they they kind of quote unquote settle down a little bit and kind of engage with just one guy at a time, maybe, or just one guy for a consistent period of time. You know what I'm saying? Where they can, actually not just get comfortable with allowing him to have sex with intercourse with you, but also enjoying the sex, get comfortable with enjoying the sex. There's been many a time, I mean, I ain't gonna talk about me, but there's been who can relate. There are instances where, you may, as a man, you may have sex with a woman, and yeah, she may moan and groan, but it's like when you're done, it's like nothing happened to her. You know what I'm saying? She's giving you the ESPN play-by-play. Oh, you was doing this, you was doing that, and you was flipping me this way. Ooh, that was nice. That was cute. Like, what? Like, you didn't enjoy it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she enjoyed it, but she wasn't lost in it. She wasn't there. It wasn't that she wasn't engulfed in the experience. You know what I mean? Per se. It's like she was kind of like stepping outside of herself and looking at a shell of herself, engaging in intercourse. So when you're done, she was like, "Oh, you done?" she's like, "Ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah," and then when you're done, it's like, "Oh, you done?" You know what I mean? It's like, "Yeah, I'm done, but are you done?" "Oh yeah, that was great. High five." You know what I mean? Like, and and she gives you your props. Like she's really being genuine. Like, yeah, you did your thing, but she wasn't into it like that because it takes her a while. So it's funny. Like, that's the dichotomy of it. You know what I mean? Like, a woman falls in love with you when you meet her, but a man falls in love with you at the altar. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's weird, but that's the yin and the yang. That's the balance of the masculine and the feminine. You know what I mean? I'm going deep, boy. I'm going deep. So we talked about the mental. Now we talking about the physiological, right? If anything, if you're that kind of woman, right, and you want to exhibit some sort of vaginal management, so to speak, I would recommend. Hold on, let me find. I'm gonna find. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. Hold on. Where's my diagram? Yeah. Hold on. I gotta fix it. All right. So as you can see, this is what you're seeing above me. This is the vaginal cycle. These are the 4 cycles of menstruation. If you're for the mature women, stay with me. Okay. Just rock out with me, all right? So the you have the menstruation phase, the follicular phase, and then the ovulation phase, and the luteal phase. Now, most people who are at least commonly educated in the menstrual cycle, most people know that the ovulation phase is when you're most capable of getting pregnant. You can get pregnant if you're still menstruating. You can get pregnant at any given time. It's like there's so many anomalies. You know what I mean? I'm no OB. Like I told you in the beginning, I'm not a medical professional. So please click and type and swipe away, please. But yeah, so the ovulation period, which is like right here. The ovulation period is when the woman is most fertile and most likely to achieve pregnancy, right? Now look at that phase. Look how narrow that phase is. Look how small that window is. You know what I mean? So your body is going through like pretty much like all these things, you know what I'm saying, just coast. Your hormones are just coasting up until you get to the ovulation phase where you're your most fertile and your most horny, so to speak. And then once you get past that phase, everything starts to tank down a little bit, and then go a little haywire, right? However, now if anybody knows anything about menstruation, you know that the vagina is the self-cleaning oven, right? And so what's happening, you're bleeding is because that's the vagina flushing out the dead ovaries, right? So what's helping that? What's assisting that? Why are you cramping? Right. What does cramps have to do with? A muscle, right? You get like an athlete that cramps, their calf cramps or their thighs cramp or something, like an athlete cramping, right? As a woman, you experience cramps. Why are you experiencing cramps? Because those are the vaginal muscles achieving this clock, as you can see up here. You know what I'm saying, with the 4 cycle. Let me slide this up a little bit so it can get my head out the way. This is your vagina experiencing the clock, and this is why you're experiencing cramps, and so those vaginal muscles is basically resetting its clock. Those vaginal muscles are resetting its clock. And as you get younger, from when you're younger to as you get older, the cramps, they worsen or they lighten, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. Every woman is different, right? But basically that's your vaginal, your sexual clock resetting itself. So I would recommend that if a woman were to intentionally and purposefully be promiscuous, she should respect her clock and say, okay, this is my cycle. Now it's time. My cycle is over. Now it's time for new dick. So from the point of the luteal phase all the way to the next ovulation phase, whatever part of the month that's in, that's when you should, that's when you should get some new dick. You know what I'm saying? But for the rest of the month, just be consistent. And if you coming down heavy, just lay out a towel. You know what I'm saying? Keep it funky. You know what I mean? Just keep it funky. Yeah, I mean, but I would recommend that personally. But once again, I'm not a medical professional, so please click, tap, scroll, and swipe away. Don't listen to me. Yeah. So yeah, you have to respect your clock. You have to respect your sexual clock. This is your sexual clock. This is your rhythm. You know what I mean? And there's many different rhythms within the body. Your body is a temple. Don't the Bible say that? I said we want to talk about religion, right? But yes, your body is a temple. There's a lot of chants and what they call it? Mantras. There's a lot of chants and mantras and rhythms and beats going on in your body, and so you have to dance with each of them and flow with them. You got to go with the flow, and this is part of that. Now I want to talk about I want to talk about. Let me get this. I don't know if I'll get flagged for posting this up. I don't know. This is a medical picture, but you never know. You never know with the way the internet is. The censorship on the internet is like next level. So I want to be mindful. Let's talk about the spiritual aspect. You know what I mean? Like I said, the body is a temple. There are many different chants and mantras and rhythms going on in the body, especially in the sexual organs. That's part of the root chakra, right? Now we talking about chakras. Here we go. But that's the base, the core of your energy flow in your genitals and in your rectum. Right. And so you have to respect it. You have to respect it, because from there, that's when your spiritual flower will sprout into the world. I'm talking too much. I'm talking way too much. I'm talking way too much for y'all. Who is listening? Who is listening? Please let me know. So, you have a thing called metaphysics, and you can kind of dwindle that. You can deduce that down to atomic science, right? Whereas, you have vibrations and frequencies. Once again, I'm talking about the rhythm. I'm talking about rhythms, beats, mantras and chants, vibrations and frequencies. It's pretty much all the same, And so, whether you have a good day or a bad day, you know what I'm saying? It's really doesn't matter. What matters is the vibration and the frequency that you're on, is how well you can enjoy and engage in your sexual intercourse. You know what I mean? This is for men and women. Now, when I'm talking about spiritual, there's no gender. There's no gender here. We're in outer space. I wish I had a sound effect for that. We just bloop, 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 you know what I mean? We're out of here. We're out of here with this right now. And so now you got to think. So in all physics and science, there's a thing called polarity and magnetism, and so and that has to do with the frequencies resonating with each other. And so when you talk about frequency, think of yourself like a radio, and when that man tunes your dial, right, when he tunes your dial, he's trying to find the station. He's trying to find your frequency. He's trying to resonate with your frequency and match your frequency so that he can listen to your rhythm. Woo! I'm talking too. Yikes! I'm talking too much for y'all. I'm giving away so much. Shout out to Motivation Queen. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for tuning in. So that man is he's turning your dial to resonate with your frequency so he can listen to your rhythm and so he can dance to your rhythm. Right? And this is why when you have so many multiple partners so frequent, right? That's the word. You're disturbing your frequency, right? Because you have different auditors, tuning your dial. They're tuning your dial in different ways, and so now your frequency is off. You're constantly changing stations. You're disrupting your rhythm. You know what I mean? You're disrupting your rhythm, and so that's one way of looking at it. That's just one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective is the design of intercourse between males and females, right? The male enters the female, and he gives the female his seed, right? Or he penetrates the female and gives her his seed. And so by design, a male is a giver and a female is a taker. And then it comes full circle where, you know, she takes that seed and gives a baby, right? And then the man takes that baby and he raises that child up. That's part of the reason why I say only men can raise men. Let's go. Right? And so yeah, it's all a cycle. It's all a yin and yang. But as far as intercourse is concerned, we're talking about promiscuity in women and intercourse. The man spiritually is the giver, or spiritually, sexually, and physically. Just in every Lee, the man is the giver and the woman is the taker. You know what I mean? And so when I talk about frequencies, you know what I mean? What energy is that man giving you? You know what I mean? When you let him into your house with no doors. Imagine you ever like throw a party, and then there's that one person in the party like that just ruins the party for everybody. He wants to throw. They want to throw a fit. They want to make it about them. What energy is that person bringing into your house? You know what I mean? Because yeah, you throwing a party, but at the end of the day, like, you in your mind, you like, this is my house still. You know what I'm saying? You messing this up for everybody, but you messing this up for me. This is my party. This is my house, right? That's kind of what it's like when you're you know, as a woman, when you're letting so many men into your home. You're disrupting the party. You're disrupting the rhythm. I talk about parties. I talk about rhythm, frequency, beats, chants, mantras, right? You know. So let me close this. Let me bring it all full circle. I think I did a great job. I hope y'all appreciate it. I think this episode was dope. Let me close this. So ultimately, you have to respect your song. It's not enough to just respect it. You have to learn your song. This is why masturbation is important. You're turning your dial. You're turning your dial. You're being your own DJ. So you can learn your sonata. You can learn your song. You have to learn your song. I think a lot of these women are you know, getting on social media and listening to everyone else's music, and they don't even know their own song. You know what I mean? And this is why they're so easily led astray. They're tuning in to frequencies that they don't resonate with, and then when their song is off, you know, they're wondering, you know, they're asking the visitors in their house with no doors. They're asking that visitor, "Who are you?" And what's really happening, that visitor is asking the same thing. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to thank you all for tuning into this multi-million-dollar stream. Thank you all for tuning into this multi-million-dollar stream. I am your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity U LLC. Prosperity U LLC is creating a society of wealth, positivity, and inspiration. You are tuned into Love and Money, the podcast of Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above, $ Prosperity U LLC. I know you see it. Go over that Cash App and give it everything you got, and then visit this website below at prosperunlimited.com. Allow that website to change your life. I guarantee it, because it changed mine. Yes, and thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. But most importantly, thank you for sharing, because sharing is caring. That's right, boys and girls. And if you like the show, give a gift or just give a like. The likes are free. And remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And last but not least, remember to invest in the brand Prosperity U LLC. All right, I will see you guys next time, okay? Bye.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity U LLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3, sci-fi action thriller. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. That's my book on organizational skills. Don't wait till I get rich to buy that book. New Shoes. That's my book on self-esteem, on how to love yourself. Ratchetology. Yes, I'm the Ratchetologist. Take my advice. Visit prosperunlimited.com and click travel to book your next vacation.
Do that freaky jam on the beat. Shitty with that butter shit that bone feed. Did you double do that song sing. Flicky sticky with some butter shit that phone sing. If you cheeky cheddar chuck, I'll get her own cheese. And so chicken with that head or this bitch that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Let me see you tether wish that with that long sleeve.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks